Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast again this week. I am the Irish Priestess of Magic, and this is the Irish Priestess of Magic podcast. I did my first episode last week, so if you listened to that, thank you so much. And if you're back with me again, I really appreciate it. I would love to be able to grow this podcast. So your listenership really does mean a lot, and I really do appreciate that. So hopefully I will have you with me in future episodes. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about candle magic, and I'm actually going to be reading from a book called The Book of Candle Magic by Madame Pamita. So I've left a couple of links in the show notes. One is for these candles that I actually bought myself. They're really beautiful organic beeswax candles, and they do burn fairly fast, to be fair. So if you're just using them for a spell, it's ideal. They probably take maybe 2-3 hours to burn. So, you can use that time to just focus on the flames, to do a bit of meditation or visualization, or just, relax with the candle near you. So, you don't have to extinguish it and then light it again the next day. They're pretty good for spells. And of course, as well, the fact that they're beeswax and it's organic, they're neutral. So you don't necessarily have to be getting different coloured candles for different types of spells. You can do that as well, of course. And I'll be talking about that in future episodes. As I'm going to dive into this book a little bit, and I'm going to read a few spells and a few chapters from the book over the next few episodes. Today I'm just going to start with the beginning, just the very basics of candle magic and kind of explaining what candle magic is. I've also left a link in the show notes for you if you're interested in buying the book. So you can check out the link below for the book. So before you get started with candle magic, it's useful to reflect on what you will actually be doing. Understanding why you might want to do a candle magic spell, why magic, what magic is and isn't, thoughtfully considering your own magical code of ethics, and getting a basic candle magic spell under your belt will start you on your way. It's easier than you think. To get started with an effective and focused spell, first of all, you need to be able to really hone in and harness your mind, rocket your intentions towards your magical goals. Nowadays, we are able to casually turn on a gas burner or flicker a lighter without a second thought, but the ancients understood the awesome power that came with having control over fire. Controlling fire transformed humans from just another species of wild animal to masters of their destiny. With control of fire came power. Fire itself is inherently mystical and magical, and it's older than recorded history. Every time you light a candle, you connect to your oldest ancestors and their deep wisdom about fire's mystical power. Candle spells are indeed magical because they help us focus our wishes and commit to our spell work and give power to our intentions. In magic, we often like to classify things as falling under one of 4 elements: air, fire, water, earth, and sometimes the additional 5th element of spirit. The element of fire represents action, will, and creation. Fire has the ability to rage through our lives like a devastating forest fire, or gently warm us like a campfire. Fires create change. It's no wonder that fire has been a part of magic for eons. Look at early culture and civilization, and you'll find fire in legends and myths. Candles are a connection through history and across cultures to the pure essence of fire's ancient force. When we make magic with candles, we connect to our deepest primal self, our magical self. But fire isn't the only method of doing magic. Why choose candle magic over burning incense, applying oils, creating talismans, sewing poppets, making spell bottles, drawing sigils, chanting spell words, or brewing potions? Well, lighting a candle for a magical purpose is like shooting off a rocket of power toward your goal. Candles have energy and force and pack it all into a limited time span. Unlike something like a charm bag that you may carry with you every day for a year or more, a candle spell packs a punch into a right now time frame. If there is something that you need to manifest quickly or you need immediate change, then a candle spell will push things through with its own particular intensity. Another special thing about candle spells is that they are indefinitely and infinitely adaptable. They can be used for wishes and intentions or for inviting spirits, ancestors, or deities to a ritual. You can customize them to your own level of magical knowledge or for your particular life circumstances. If you are a beginner to spell work, you can do a simple yet effective spell with a single candle. If you want to bring a lot of ritual and layers of intention to your spell, you can modify to your heart's content. Candle spells also help us focus. After all, you cannot light a candle while being distracted because God knows you would burn your fingers off. And I've tried that a couple of times. If you've tried to do other kinds of spells, like visualizations, for example, and have found that you couldn't keep your mind from wandering, candle spells will help you to focus your attention on that goal. With candle spells, we are also given an opportunity to check in on a spell's progress by reading how a candle burns or reading its remains. We can see if there are issues surrounding our wishes that need clearing up or spiritual redirection. And doing a candle spell just feels so magical and fun. You'll feel the power within yourself every single time you prepare your spell. Speak your spell words and light a candle up with authority. If you are ready to be a serious spellcaster, it's worthwhile to cultivate what I consider the seed of all magic. Everything created on this earth by humanity has started out as a thought. Mull over that for a minute. If you were sitting in a chair, for example, and you were reading this or listening to this podcast, that chair was designed by a person or a group of people who came together and came up with the idea of its look, its feel, the materials, and what it would be like to sit on and how we'd make it. And its manufacture, of course, and the sale. And all of this allowed you to be sitting right now on that chair. The chair came to you because someone had the idea of the chair. The same is true for all facets of life. Through the seed of thought, we have the ability to create our own lives as we wish and as you wish them to be. You get to choose whatever your thoughts are. So, no one else can decide but you. Whether you believe you will or whether you believe you can't or whether you believe you will or you won't, you're absolutely right. An analogy of this would be your car. Let's say, for example, you get into your car and you can steer your car wherever you want to go. You can literally take your car to go to the shop, to the market, you can take it to go to the beach or to the forest or to wherever you wish to go. So that is you controlling the car, and basically it's the same way as you can control your thoughts. You direct the car in the same way that you direct your thoughts. So if you want to attain your outcome, you can use the will to direct your thoughts. So let's say we can use north for manifestation, east for idea, south for action, and west for spirit. So it's important that your car doesn't make a swerve to the left or to the right every now and then. I mean, it may happen a little bit, but obviously, you want to kind of keep that car on the straight road. So as long as we are consciously headed towards the particular destination, we know that we're keeping that car in track on the right path. The same is true for our thoughts. If we have a moment of doubt or a fleeting negative thought, it really doesn't affect the ultimate outcome of the majority of our thoughts that we have focused on the positive. Those consistent thoughts, the seed of all magic, are the beginning of manifesting all the good things and a life that we want to live and to be in. The process of manifestation is actually not found in any candle, herb, or talisman. The power of magic is an energy that begins within you. It starts with an idea, extends through words and actions, combines with spirit, and becomes manifest. Once we have created the manifestation, new ideas are born, coupled with action and co-creation with the spirit world. We create even more things. Each step is critical, and a focused and experienced spellcaster can make magic without any tools aside from their mind. A magician with some spiritual awareness under her belt will focus clearly and positively on her goals, speak positive words about her intentions, take action to allow synchronicities, do magical work, and trust in spirit to align circumstances, and wait for the culmination of their efforts. The problem is that most of us have an inner dialogue going that may sound something like this. I want to be in love, but everywhere I go I just meet players. I don't want to be alone, but I don't want to settle either. I can't find my true love, but maybe it's too late. I want a lover, but maybe I'm just meant to be single. And around and around and around we go in our minds. So our minds literally spin like a leaf caught up in the dust. Where candles come into all of this, when we lose focus and are unable to keep our mind positively on the end result, without letting our feelings or doubt or disbelief get in the way, a candle spell will pick up the slack and keep the original intention going until the goal is manifested. By itself, the candle is a neutral tool. Lighting a candle without an intention will only produce a little bit of light. The candle itself does not hold the magic. Like a blank cassette tape, you can record your intention onto a candle and it will carry that energy out to the universe. Before you begin any spell work, first check your own thoughts and beliefs about your goals. I recommend journaling to uncover and work any doubts. You'll see how writing can help you clear your thoughts of negative rubbish and help you build a positive foundation so that you can create amazing spell work. So, before practicing any magic, it is essential that you complete your personal ethical code. As you learn about magic from various teachers and sources, you may read many different versions of ethics, many claiming that you must follow their code or suffer dire consequences. However, no one but you can decide what is right for you. Magic isn't a religion, but a set of rules and commandments. You get to decide your own rules. And for that reason, I recommend reflecting on the following questions that I'm going to mention to you. You can certainly contemplate them in meditation. And however, I find it extremely effective actually to journal them. So journaling helps clarify and focus thoughts. And as you grow and develop as a spellcaster, you can refer back to your journal anytime and you can see exactly the answers to questions that you may have had once upon a time as a different person. So some of the questions you could ask yourself are, if you do have a religious issue or if there's something that maybe is holding you back because of a religion, you can ask, do I belong to a religion or spiritual practice? And what does my religion or practice teach about ethics? What does my religion or practice teach about spells or magic or any of that kind of thing? What are my boundaries with harm to others? What are my standards about controlling others? What are my thoughts about corrective magic? What are my beliefs about magic responsibility? What is my connection to nature and to earth? So these are some kind of questions you could literally just journal down and, write your thoughts out on that. So once you've reflected on these questions, you may begin mapping on your own code of ethics before you begin working magically. I think about what kinds of spells you are willing to do and which ones align with your code of ethics. Also, you could put together an altar, which can actually help you to focus as well. So maybe before you light your first candle for a spell, it's a good idea to determine where you are going to put it. Setting your candle in a special place adds to your magic. When we treat our candles with reverence, we are telling the universe that what we want is important to us. An altar is one option for a space that can be set up as a focal point for prayer, meditation, or magic that we will explore later on. For now, a clear space that will be special and safe, a table, nightstand, or windowsill to be just dedicated towards magic would be a really, really good idea. So make sure that the area is clear of anything that can catch fire, of course, curtains, papers, shelves, or anything like that might be above it. And of course, keep a very clear eye on things. So, charging a candle. So when we first start with magic spells, you may have trouble believing what you want and what you are doing will actually come into fruition from a simple flicker of a candle. But confidence in spell work comes from experience, which is why many experienced people will hire experienced spell workers to cast spells for them. While no one may care more about the outcome of your spell than you do, an experienced spellcaster doesn't have any doubts that might interfere with the outcome of the spell for you. So before doing your spell, there are some quick experiments that you can do to demonstrate that there are differences between a charged candle and an uncharged candle. When making your first baby steps in candle magic, it's useful to be able to see these things and see these differences. Remember that the candle itself has no power. It is only a tool holding the imprint of the power you put into it, and so that together you can manifest your intentions in the real world. So for the experiment, you will need 2 birthday candles, a small dish, and of course matches or a lighter. So in this experiment, you will observe the differences between a candle you have energetically charged and one that has not been charged. So let's say in school science class back in the day, you might have learned that the procedure for doing an experiment is having two components, one called the control and one that is the variable. The experiment itself is the composition and the comparison of the two. It is the experiment. You are going to charge one candle and leave one candle unaffected and see the difference in how they burn. You won't be doing a spell in this experiment. Instead, you will simply be observing and infusing one candle with your positive energy and leave the other completely blank and not do anything with it. So take the two birthday candles from the same packet and set them on a table. Close your eyes and rub your palms together until you can start to feel some warmth between them. Hold your palms a few inches apart from each other and notice the sensations that you feel. Now pick up one of the candles and hold it between your palms. Close your eyes and focus your thoughts in a positive direction. You can visualize a positive time in the past, focus in a confident way on the future of your dreams, or you can just count your blessings in the present. Feel energy radiating from your hands into the candle. The important part of this experiment is to hold your intentions positively, confidently, and without doubt or fear. If you have a hard time with visualization, you can repeat affirmations that reinforce positivity, such as, I am happy, or everything always works out for me. You can also simply feel a sense of well-being, contentment, and peace. If your life is in a state where it's hard to feel those good things right now, then sitting down and writing a list of things that you can feel grateful for in your life right now would be a really good place to start. Whatever you do, don't skip on that part, because this experiment will really show you and demonstrate exactly how to begin the very baby steps at the very forefront of spell magic. Spend several minutes holding your candle and loading it up with positive energy. If you get distracted, put the candle back down and rub your hands together again. When you get the sense that you are complete and you have held the candle for at least a few minutes of focused energy, the experiment can begin. So fix both candles to a dish. If you're using beeswax candles and the weather is warm, you can affix them to a pressing, that you can literally light the bottom of them and press them into a dish, or put them obviously into a candle holder. Now light both candles and observe how they burn. If you have made real effort in infusing the one candle energetically, you will see a difference in how it burns. Often people report that the candle burns with a stronger flame, a flame that is more active or that has changed. So in other words, the candle might be, the flame of the candle might rise, it might go quite long, it burns a bit brighter, it moves a lot more, and as I just mentioned, it's a bit more active. Having seen how energy affects spell working, it's now time to walk you through a basic candle spell so that you can have a framework and feel confident that you can start your candle magic path. For the simplest candle spell of all you need is a candle, a match, and your clear intention. Find a candle of any kind. For this first spell, a smaller candle such as a chime candle or a tea light is a good choice so that you can jump into doing another spell soon after rather than waiting for this one to finish. So no matter what candle you choose, it is essential that it is a new candle, not one you've burnt before, and especially not one you've burnt for another spell. You don't want to confuse or dilute the energetic intention. So you just need a candle holder, tray or dish, matches, a lighter, and your clear intention. So hold the candle in your hands for several seconds or even a minute or longer while you set your intentions. Imagine the outcome you want, or think about the words of your wish in your head. Feel your energy radiating from your hands into the candle. This feeling charges and infuses the candle with your intentions. Set the candle in its holder. Speak your wish or intention out loud as you light the candle. Burn the candle while you are at home. If you leave the house or go to sleep or anything like that, you can of course snuff out the candle, but as I mentioned before, the beeswax candles that I actually have in the link below do burn quite quickly in a matter of 2 or 3 hours. You can actually sit with the candle for that period of time. So the point of this simple spell is to focus your energy and use the ritual of lighting the candle to give some power and commitment to your intention. No muss, no fuss. Candle magic does not have to be complicated to be effective. If you have a simple request or need to do some spell work right now, and a candle and a match are all you have, then you can absolutely do that format. So remember, it's just as easy and as simple as choosing your candle, rubbing your hands together to create that static energy. And even when you hold your palms separately apart, you can feel, and you put them in and out, you can feel that energy going between your hands. Then put the candle in between your hands and then infuse that candle with your thoughts, all positive, your wishes, your desired outcome basically. And just make sure it's as clear as possible and try to be able to visualize it as a picture or as an image or as a movie as best you can. And that is it for today's podcast. Thank you so much again if you've listened to this, and if you have listened back to my last podcast as well, I really, really appreciate it. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can email me irishpreistessogmagic@gmail.com, and you can follow me over on Instagram as well, same as well, Irish Priestess of Magic. It's an old Instagram account that I have just kind of changed the handle of, that was dormant, and so it's like, I'm just starting up with it. So next episode I'm going to be talking about practical magic and the different types of candles that you can use for different spells and lots more. So do join me in the next episode again, and please like, rate, review, follow, all of that lovely stuff. Until next week, have a magical, wonderful week. Take care. Bye for now.